Welcome back to Reedie and Z Week 6 recap. Your Washington Commanders were defeated by the Baltimore Ravens with a final score of 30-23. Through it all, we are a good team. What do y'all think, gentlemen?
I think we are a good team. Just sitting back today, after the game, once I got home, I kind of got a little rewatch, but it aligned with, what I was thinking during the game. I think that we played a tough game. We were able to stay in contention with, arguably a Super Bowl contender. A couple of key mistakes that we'll definitely dig into offensively and defensively. Definitely we got to be better. They picked us apart. They did what they wanted to do. So I would just like to see us fix those things, but to be able to come out of this tough L only down, only 7 points. We played with the Wolves, man. So I'm pleased with the performance on that end of it, but I definitely wanted a victory. But yeah, what about you, John?
Hold up, before you go, John, I'm sorry. Let's welcome to the show back again our good guy, John from the Ballin and Burgundy podcast. How rude of me to forget to introduce you in the beginning of the show. My apologies, people, but this is good brother John.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? YouTube, Instagram over on the side. So if y'all see me doing a little switch up, I got the camera over here because I do not have a professional setup like the fellas here. But what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, man.
So tell us how you feeling about the game, John?
Offensively, I think we struggled in that first half. We went up 3-0 only because I think Mike Samuelson came to play today, getting that interception off Lamar. But this game was sloppy. I mean, if we had thought this, the AFC North was about offense, this was the AFC North of old, playing defense. Offensive line, led by a few things. Andrew Wiley giving up a false start and a hold. I was like, come on, what is this, 2023? But that's secondary. Burnt toast, Swiss cheese, more open than a 24/7 7-Eleven. Like, the three of us could have made some plays as wide receivers on this Commanders secondary. I'm looking at this, I'm like, what zone are you running? To where you have a 4-man social distancing square 6 feet apart from Mark Andrews on that big play. I was so confused what Joe Witt was running, because this isn't DQ of old. DQ knows his defense. Joe Witt, I don't know if it's scheme. I don't know if it's the safety room not knowing their assignment, alignment, and responsibility. I don't know if it's the corners not knowing their man-on-man versus their zone coverage versus their Tampa 2s. But something's got to change, because this secondary was getting burnt, beat, cooked, and demolished by someone who is not known to be a passing quarterback. People call him a running back for a reason. Well, today he showed you he was the Mike Vick, just minus the dogs.
Now, just to caveat what you're saying, like, I got to stop you there, because we cannot say he's not a throwing quarterback, because the boy can throw the ball. He's not as polished a passer, as he is a runner. And just to go back to your point about the, in the Tampa 2 coverage, normally in that, the middle linebacker has that medium to deep middle. They were kind of killing us in that hook the curl area and on them corner routes. Mark Andrews, Bateman, like they made a living over there. We woke Mark Andrews up from the dead. He hasn't been seen all season long, but miraculously he comes in today and he has three catches, three receptions for 66 yards and a touchdown, the long of 38. And Rashad Bateman, I thought he was I don't even know who this guy is, for real. And he killed us, 4 catches for 71 yards. Zay Flowers just had him out there on skates all day long, just like, I don't know what St. Jude was doing in coverage, why he's grabbing, why he's holding. But, it's the same old song and dance with St. Jude. He just has to be touchy Philly. But, that is a great point in that Tampa 2, because we were definitely getting burnt. And I'm sitting there in the stands with Z. We're in the end zone sitting behind. And I'm like, the middle of the field is wide open. If Lamar wants to take off at any time, it was 12 yards down the field before they got their back to him. So, but luckily he sat in the pocket and he only rushed the ball a couple of times for us. But I mean, that is a great point about that secondary. And it's not looking like a Dan Quinn led defense thus far. Even a Joe Witt defense. I mean, he talked earlier in the week about not capitalizing on turnovers or getting interceptions, but Michael Sanford came out big with the tip ball from Andrews and coming down with that pick, and he got walked by Lamar. But it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Like Reedie said, what I saw, the middle of the field was wide open, picking us apart. They was able to move the middle linebacker, running those cross routes, coming behind them with, another route, and able to have the middle of the field wide open. Zay Flowers, 9 catches in the first half. He didn't even do anything in the second half. He broke records in the first half. You can't have that. Derrick Henry, just, 132 yards. I didn't even feel like I even saw him get 132 yards. But after you look at it, he's getting chunks. 8 yards here, 9, 10 yards there. He had a long run for probably like 30 some yards. And I mean, as long as you keep having those type runs, that's what's going to happen. We went in this game kind of knowing that Derrick Henry was going to be Derrick Henry. We had to stop that pass game, and we didn't. There was a couple of times where defense, held them to field goals and things like that. And the offense wasn't able to, the offense put up points, but the offense wasn't able to, like we said, go down there. There was times where we had to kick field goals, basically. We get in the red zone, may have a penalty or this and that, and we had to kick, field goals. And it just, they was coming back and we was going at it. But outside of that, yeah, we got to figure out that defense, that secondary. I'm hoping that we can look at some of these other guys that are available, and just always be looking to be better. Forbes was inactive today. Jamin Davis inactive today. It's, I don't know what's going on with them two, but it's been, merry-go-round with them.
Yeah, there's clearly a lack of depth at the cornerback position because there were numerous times where we had 3 safeties on the field. We had Chin, we had Butler, and we had Quan on the field at the same exact time. So I thought we should have went out back months ago when Gilmore was still available, and we should have took a chance at him or some of these other cornerbacks that are on the market just to give us some help. I mean, because clearly these guys they don't have confidence in Forbes Jr. And you can't say it's the thumb injury or the injury that he sustained a few weeks ago that he came back from, because he's inactive. He played. Did he play last? I believe he played last week, and he really wasn't getting that much burn in. So like I said, overall, secondary. I mean, they've played better than in the past, but there are still some things to be wanted from that unit that I think that we need to look into moving forward. We're getting outstanding linebacker play, and our defensive line has woken up. Six had what he had 2 sacks today.
2 sacks, yeah.
So yeah, we're getting it from in different plays. Lamar made Armstrong look silly a couple of plays. He kind of like was running around like he was running out of gas or whatever. Like I kind of watched the rewatch on the condensed version, and that's what I seen on that. But I didn't watch the full or the 22 version yet. When I go back and watch that, I'll have more information on that. But overall, we're kind of there. Like we're playing okay defense to get off the field. It's just like the little things, and then those penalties and stuff killed us. For they kept their drives alive, and then we're in third down. We're in third down, and then they break our back. But go ahead.
Nah, not to cut you off. I was piggybacking off what you said. The penalties. St. Jude, like bro, like you're back to the St. Jude who you were, all the holding, and like let these guys go. I mean, yeah, it was a BS call, when the Bateman fell and they gave you that holding call or the pass interference. But early on Zay Flowers, on third downs, some key drives where you're getting these penalties, and it's automatic first downs, and it's a drive killer or giving them another chance, and they get down there and scoring. One of those plays was the third down. They was about to kick a field goal. First down, they end up scoring like 2 plays later. That was the first touchdown to Henry. You got to let these guys go. They're going to be on you. And I mean, even once you got the early on flag, it's like he still was holding all game for real. But like you said, that one on Bateman was definitely BS. And I mean, it's just the same mistakes when it comes to St. Jude and the other DBs. And I just like to see us do better with that. And then I mean, we got to get on the offense. Well, no, first, John, anything else you want to add about the defense, or you want to switch to the offense? How you feeling?
No, you're absolutely right. First of all, I just want to say a few prayers out to John Allen, Armstrong, and to JJB. They all got injured. Allen with the pec, Armstrong with the ribs, and JJB with the foot. And that's 2 edge rushers and our $20 million D tackle. So we got quality right there in the locker room. And secondly, prayers out to Aiden Henderson, absolute dog. I think he broke his tibia earlier today against the Dallas game, so I want to give out a shout out to him. But no, there's a reason why myself, Andrew, Chris, Justin, Tony from TSN call BSJ Saint Groupie. He loves to hold. He loves to get physical when there's no reason to. Yes, was the Bateman call, ticky tacky kunse kunsalik? Would they call that on us? No, but it is what it is at this rate. The other one, why? There's no business to hold, no business to pass interfere. Were there a few calls missed on us? Yes, it's gonna happen. At the end of the day, it happens. Now, Dante Fowler having 2 sacks was not on my bingo card. And I think he should have had a half sack removed for someone else. I think for Armstrong. Like Wagner was flying over the field. Luvu was getting in some hits. Sanders still had a few good hits. But Iganagaby, Michael Davis, St. Juice, they were looking rough out there. I don't know if it's play calling, scheme. I mean, Bateman going for, I just pulled up a second ago, 9 receptions, 132. Or Zay Flowers, excuse me. Bateman going for 4 for 71. So you have 200 yards by 2 receivers combined. How do you let this happen? Makes no sense.
Yeah, for sure. Check the studio chat too, John. I sent you a message. Just getting some feedback. People in the comments were saying, but yeah, Reedie. Let's talk about the offense, man. I mean, how do you feel like we did offensively? I definitely, on my end, just 2 quick points. We wasn't able to establish the run. And I feel like we threw a lot of intermediate passes. We didn't take enough shots. If we was able to take some deep shots down the field, like we saw when Noah Brown, we took a shot, we got a PI call. You just got to take them chances. I think Cliff was, I feel like Cliff was just came with a game plan of underneath, and it just wasn't enough. How you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the exact same way. I mean, I was telling you and Leighton in the stands, like, why we keep throwing these behind the line of scrimmage passes, these screen passes and stuff like that? We need to go down the field, even if, it's like it was a dink and dunk. It was similar. It was eerie because it was similar to the Tampa game plan in the beginning of the game, like where they were going to dink and dunk. And then I think as the game went on, they started to stretch the field and go a little bit deeper and stuff like that. But I mean, lack of a run game, we really couldn't get the run game on track. B Rob being out, like we don't really realize how much he really means to us in the run game, and all that Austin Eckler can do. He 9 carries for 21 yards. I mean, it was abysmal. We had 52 total yards rushing between 4 ball carriers. It just that was really the telltale sign of the game. So we were one dimensional. We were just a pass happy team. And in lieu of all of that, we still were in the game. I think, for me, the pivotal play in the game was when we came out, first missing the field goal before we went into the half. And then when we came out and we got the ball back, we couldn't, stay on the field. That's where the game swung right there. And we was always chasing. We were chasing the game pretty much the whole game. I thought the play calling got a little bit better, as the game went on, as it progressed. But it's just, just those lack of running the game, and I don't know where we go from here. Who do we call up if B Rob can't go? If this knee injury is more significant than we think?
Michael Wiley. I call number 6. Michael Wiley from Arizona, UDFA. Well, one of the guys I wanted to make the roster. They keep calling up. What's the kid's name?
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Thank you. I like Rodriguez. I do, but I think Wiley showed better in the preseason. So I would use him. And again, 52 total yards rushing. And Jaden Eckler basically had the exact same amount of yards. Jaden just with 3 carries less. So I don't know if it's offensive line. I don't know if it's just that stout defense, Manabuike, Michael Pierce, Odafe Owe, and them, or what. But something has to change if B-Rob's out long term. I don't know if you trade for a guy. Maybe I don't even know any running backs right now that would be available for a trade. Maybe a Najee Harris if Pittsburgh is, not using him as the way they should. I don't know if you got to go out and get like an Izzy out of the Jets, something. Maybe you pick up a UDFA, or you just hope and pray that McNichols and Eckler can get the job done. But the run game was non-existent. I've seen better run game out of the Giants this year.
Yeah, for sure. And we missed the wave on the Kareem Hunt. I was thinking the other day, like, damn, Kareem Hunt in Kansas City doing this thing. This is a guy he came in on like 2 different visits. And I'm like, why we didn't sign him? So I was just thinking about that, like, damn, we missed that wave. But like you said, yeah, it's definitely scarce on the running back market. So yeah, they need to be looking around and just, I mean, like I said, just always looking. And Dan always says it's always moving parts, and they're trying to figure things out, and they're trying to find the right group. So I think they are going to do the due diligence, just to kind of see what's out there, get better. And just to be clear, like we said, we're not worried, guys. Like, we played a great team, a Super Bowl caliber team. You know what I mean? And for y'all that just jumped on the live, like we said, like we titled this, despite the tough loss, the Commanders are a good team. We went toe-to-toe with Super Bowl contender, Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. So I'm not really worried, man. On to the Panthers, a W that we should get and move forward from there. But I don't think this team will beat themselves up. I think that they'll come out of this confident and make the right, adjustments and go from there.
I think as if it was, as if we gave them too much respect. We were in the game the whole game and we were playing with them. It's kind of like, we did. It's kind of like sometimes with teams, they don't want to put their foot on the team's neck and just keep their foot on the gas. I think we were just content with just playing with them. You know what I mean? I think that's really what it was, because we really never got to that point like we were in the last 4 games where we were just like, fuck that, like, we're better than you, like, we're going to show you we're better than you. Like, I felt like we just gave them too much respect, and the game was there to be taken. We just really couldn't, like you said, we couldn't, stop them defensively to, kind of get off the field. I mean, technically the first couple drives, it should have been 2 turnovers, because you had the interception to Michael Sanford still, and then the next series after that, Hill fumbled, and we didn't recover that fumble. So that could have turned the game right there. But we have to score 7 points on that turnover from Stanford. So we kicked the field goal. That also plays into that complimentary football.
Well, and the Linderbaum fumble snap, where he snaps it right onto his ankle, and Wagner just doesn't look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another turnover right there. So you could have had 3 to 4 turnovers. And if people on the IG Live are confused, you can hear me through their audio. I'm going to keep my mic off on Instagram just to see why there's an echo. So my bad, Joe. But when you have 3 or 4 turnover possibilities and you execute on one, no wonder they go 6 straight drives with a touchdown. Your alignment, your assignment, your responsibility. Well, now you're 0 for 3 on those.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was definitely, like I said, definitely some mistakes that they need to correct. And just move forward, get over this loss, Tell the Truth Monday is tomorrow, and go from there and figure it out. But I
But
mean, as far as are we ready to talk about the Panthers, or are we
no,
going?
no, one real second. But don't get it fucked up. Like I'm not worried. I'm not really critical at all. But I'm just pointing out the mistakes that they had.
Correct.
Like the last 4 weeks, we haven't really had nothing negative really to say, and this was kind of like an eye-opening game for us. So we're going to go as far as 5 takes us, and as far as this defense takes us. And we don't have significant weapons like other teams that can just win us outright, just will us to games like superstars. Like I believe that's coming next year or the year after. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is baby steps. Like we're not even supposed to be in this conversation. So we just gotta take it, with a grain of salt. But in lieu of all of that, like we are here. Like I'm telling people in the stands, I'm popping my shit in the stands. We're back. We are back. I don't know if y'all are really realizing what's going on. We are back. We are back.
Yeah, we're gonna be fine. We definitely gonna be fine. And I second you, and I feel you on that. I mean, this is the most confident I've been after a loss, since being a fan here. So yeah, I mean, I'm not worried either, bro. I'm not worried. You worried, John?
I wouldn't say I'm worried. I think just based on technique and scheme, I'm a little concerned in terms of, all right, so you see how this zone is not going to work when you have 2 shifty, speedy guys and 2 quality tight ends. All right, so zone's not going to work. Maybe you got to go to the man. Maybe you got to do some combinations. But I'm not worried. Like you said, the most confident we've been since a loss, since I can remember. Like, I was talking with the fellas before, and I was talking this with fans on social media, and talking this with a few Cowboys fans. Like, I haven't remembered us being this good across the board and getting national coverage the way we are since maybe us drafting RG3. But even then, that came crashing down at the end of the season when he gets injured. So maybe ever, at least in my lifetime, we haven't been this good this early, and it's not taking a significant game to say, oh, these guys are horrible. Without the same result turnover, now we're down another 3. So that gets us a 20-30. You miss a field goal, you miss an extra point. There's 4 points back on the board. That's just 30-28 real soon. So I kind of compare this to the Colorado Buffaloes doing. What Deion's doing is, you're gonna lose, you're gonna get your ass kicked, but next game, all right, you got your ass kicked. This is good for you because now you can come back to next game. Oh, now you're hungry. You haven't felt what winning tastes like in the past week. Maybe you got too comfortable in those suites on the buses. Now you got to ride, economy in the back of the plane or on the back of the tour bus. Like, you gotta wake up. Remember what fresh tarmac smells like in the morning. But I'm just gonna keep going with this Deion thing. But he can't be prime time without putting in the work behind the scenes. So I'm not going to say I'm worried besides scheme-wise on secondary. But I'm so confident we can keep going. These next 5 games are probably going to be wins. Bears, Panthers, Giants, Steelers, and Cowboys. I can smell an easy 3-2 right there. An easy 3-2, but it ain't going to be easy.
It definitely ain't gonna be easy. Pittsburgh, I mean, they find a ways to win games. The Giants, they keep games close. We only beat them on 7 field goals. I mean, yeah, the Cowboys got routed. By the time we play them, they could regroup. I mean, the Eagles won today. I mean, let's not just skip over the Panthers.
The Bears either.
Or
Caleb
the Bears. I mean, they both
hooping.
They both hooping. The Panthers gave Falcons some go until they took off and did their thing. But I was a little worried. I had them Falcons in my survivor pool, and I was worried. The Panthers since Dalton been in it, the Panthers been up. So they ain't winning a lot of games, but they definitely competing. So we can't take nothing for a slouch.
Nothing for granted. Nothing at all. We got to take one game at a time. How we've been coming out one game at a time, we're on to Carolina, and we need to just keep it there and don't worry about the next opponent until we get there. Because this run game, lack of a run game, really showed its head today without really being able to rush the football. And I think that's what has kept us, kept us ahead in previous games that where we can get to our other stuff, keeping teams off balance.
Correct. And I just want to real quick respond to some comments in the on Instagram. Allen and Payne need to go. They making too much money to do nothing.
We sound insane for saying that a week ago.
Hey, that reel still doing numbers, and people still getting mad. I
think we're seeing like 30,000 views on that reel.
No, for real. Then there's another one. Someone asked, did Allen tear his pec? So I didn't see that they said it was torn, but they definitely said he hurt it. I think they're going to announce further details tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think he completely tore it. But I'll check on that news real quick. Obviously, he was ruled out at the end of the game, won't return, yada yada. Yeah, nothing as of right now, but he'll get the MRI tomorrow, per John Keim. So we'll know more within the next 24 hours whether it's significant. If he just spazzed it out, we'll know more. But yeah, I don't think it's too serious considering it came in the fourth quarter, but we will see.
Yeah,
they asked if Frankie Louvu play today.
Yeah, I fell off the live. My phone died. I don't have my charger right here, so I'm not on
good,
the live.
No problem.
All good.
But they asked him, did Frankie Louvu play today? They didn't hear his name all game. I saw him definitely. He was definitely attempting to make some rushes. They used him as a spy a couple of times. He was definitely in the game. He may not have made a lot of plays, but he was in the mix. Another commenter, I'm taking this game as a dub. Hard competitive game against a contender. Secondary is an issue, and offense is still very good. Also played well against a very solid Ravens defense. Others are saying we definitely back. At the end of the day, we are going in the right direction. That's all that matters, for sure. If B-Rob knee continues to be the problem, we need to draft Jonty from Boise State. Is it Genty or Jonty?
Ashton Genty? Dude, that man is a dog. However, we won't be getting him. I'll talk to the Instagram folks right here, and I'll talk to the people down the barrel of the camera. Ashton Genty, if y'all follow me on Instagram at GRDArt18, I just did the graphic. We ain't getting him. Chargers, Saints, Eagles, Cowgirls, they need a running back. All right. We don't necessarily need a quality starter right now because B-Rob will most likely get an extension. Eckler has one more year on the season, but if you get an Omarion Hampton out of UNC, and rest in peace to 13 out of UNC, man, died of stage 4 of cancer the other day. So shout out to the community. Him, Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State, RJ Harvey out of UCF. There's a cat out. I've been doing some mock drafts, y'all can't tell. I've been doing too many mock drafts behind the scenes. But there's running back depth later on. Ashton Genty will be gone by the time we hit 20, which is where I predict we'll be around. Is that 18 to 20 range? He'll be long gone by then.
Yeah, for sure. Jaden Daniels and Terry building a connection, getting more comfortable every week. I totally agree. Love seeing Terry get 2 tutties today. I had a conversation with Reedie just the other day. Reedie is, like we said, he hard on Terry, and he giving y'all that look. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. Reedie said he wants Terry to break out and have a 200-yard game, 15 catches, on 18 targets or something like that. He's ready for Terry to break out. And I had told him, Terry isn't that guy. I think Reedie is expecting like a DK Metcalf, Calvin Johnson-ish type style from Terry. And Terry, I haven't seen Terry ever get 200 yards. Not to say that he can't, but I just don't think that he runs those routes consistently, or they don't take the shots and throw him the ball consistently to be able to have a game and break 200 like that. So it's kind of hard to expect that from him. But I think, Terry is definitely progressing week to week. Today he only had like 50-some yards, but he was able to pull in 2 tutties. had some, I'm talking about serious catches. That touchdown on that fourth down, that at the end, that was a hell of a catch. He definitely made some plays today. And we just got to regroup and on to Carolina. Noah Brown definitely made some catches today too. But Reedie, you want to respond to that?
No, I agree with you. I stand corrected. I frowned in my face because I didn't know where you were going with this. I didn't remember the conversation, but I concur. You did tell me that about Terry, and I'm not saying that I think that Terry needs to have 200 yards or whatever, but I just feel like he needs to, do a little bit more. Like maybe give us 10 catches or, the 2 touchdowns. Like I'll take the performance today with, the minimal yards, but the touchdowns, like we just need him if he's going to be our number one. If he's our number 1A receiver, to give us more. We need to put points on the board. Coming up with pivotal catches on, key moments in the game. Like you have to be seen in key moments of the game, like that are going to come back to help us win. That's all I want from Terry. And I am hard on Terry. I kind of chilled a little bit on Terry because Terry has been showing up, and but it is what it is. But I think we need more help. We need more help all across the board. And I'm here for it. And I don't want to get into the off season right now, but I'm here for the off season.
Yeah. But before we get to the off season, let's talk about the Panthers.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean the Panthers been putting up points. Dalton leading the way. They got Deontay Johnson, who's finally in the mix. He's been going up. He scored today. I think he scored the last few games. That's all I really know on the receiving end. With their backfield, they got Hubbard. They got who else they got? Oh no, they got Leggett as a receiver too.
Xavier Leggett. So they got Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders as their running back duo, which I feel better with ours already. But Deontay Johnson, Jalen Coker, the rookie receiver, Xavier Leggett, the rookie receiver, David Moore, Jonathan Mingo out of Ole Miss, and then their tight ends and Jatavian Sanders, the Texas rookie, and Ian Thomas, who did absolutely nothing. But I mean, Deontay 6 for 78 and a touchdown. Since Andy Dalton's come in, he's been putting up points. Now Dalton also turned the ball over. He had 2 picks today, but they're not. They didn't get a sack on Dalton today. Now, take it with that will, because Falcons have no pass rush anymore when they get hit with injuries worse than the flu season. So the Panthers are going to be, a test, but they're currently 1-5, 0-3 at home.
Yeah. I mean, it ain't. We can't take no slouch, man. We got to get this W. We got to beat the brakes off these people for real. I don't think we need to go out here and just pity pat it. We need to just run it up. Go through the motions.
We can't let.
I agree. If you can score, okay, go ahead. I agree.
No, I'm just saying we just can't let him come in here and just pass the ball around and do what he do, because he has some capable weapons on the outside that can hurt us. Given our but I think we're a better defense now, so I think we should be fine. But we every week we have questions if the secondary is going to be better than they were the week before, if they can stop somebody. So that said, I just hope we just come to play. We can't take these guys for granted because they're, what are they, 1-5 or something like that? Yeah, so
1-5.
We gotta come to play, and we, the Browns, beat the teams that we're supposed to beat, because that's one of the things that has stopped us in years past, not beating those teams that we are supposed to beat. And then move on to whoever's next after that.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. Like I said, can't take it for granted, but also, I mean, if you put up more than 25 on the Panthers, you're sitting pretty. They're not pulling up 30, 35. They're certainly not doing what Tampa Bay did today and put up 52. Panthers ain't doing 52 like that. So if you can put up 25, 28, 30, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we can. I mean, we're averaging what? We were averaging 31 a game.
Correct.
Game right here, we put up 23. I think we can get back to that. Even if we average 27, I think that's a good number. Because that's what I was telling last year, all on the pod, and the year before last. I think we were averaging like 20 points a game, 19 points a game, or something. And I was saying, like, if you looked at back then, we weren't really getting killed by teams. We were losing 3-point games, 7 games a touchdown. So my thing always been, if we can average 28 a game, we're in business. You know what I mean? So if we continue to do that, I think we'll be fine. But we just, we gotta come back and get on a whole new winning streak. And we can possibly, be 7-2 of these next 3 games, going into, what is that, the Philadelphia game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like John said, those 5 games, I mean, they're all winnable. What I mean? We just gotta make sure that we do our part and come out of these games victorious. But I do think that, it's going to be a test. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be bumpy because, teams are getting more and more tape. They're going to, be able to plan more and more and definitely try to go off of what they feel Baltimore did to contain Jaden. Because Jaden didn't run a lot today. He got a few runs, but he didn't do his normal do. So, teams are going to try to mimic that. So we got to make sure that we stay on our toes. And Cliff just continues to dial it up for sure.
Yeah, they were getting after it. Travis Jones with a sack, Pierce and Matabuike for a half, Yannick Ngakoue. I forgot they had him on the roster for a second. So we gave up 3 sacks today, which is, I think, the second most this season, or it's around that number. We're not giving up what we used to give up last year. Last year was crazy numbers. This year, I think we're under like 20 sacks through the 6 games, which is fine. It's a lot better than what it used to be. You're still on pace for a lot. But this is the game that you kind of need, like, oh, all right, so we really need to clean up, pre-snap penalties, which got better, but he still had a false start and a hold. You got to clean up the secondary a lot. Trade for a corner. Sign one. Do not sign Xavier Howard. We do not need that dude on. If we wanted him, we would have kept Brandon McManus. We don't need Xavier Howard like that. Whether it's the trade deadline, like a Greg Newsome, whether it's the draft, like the kid out of ECU who tore his ACL, whether it's Will Johnson, whether it's Terrion Davis, whether it's Kobe Bryant, whether you trade all the way up to number 1 for Travis Hunter, which we wouldn't do. The safeties I'm fine with. It's the corners, like Sanderson, I'm good with. Chiganuzzi, I'm on the practice squad. I'm good with. St. Groupie, corner 3. Him as corner 1 ain't getting the job done. And Forbes, I don't think is sticking around through the next offseason. So the secondary got to get revamped somehow. Is it going to change overnight? No. But it's got to start the change somewhere.
Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. Definitely agree. Any more to add, Reedie?
No, I think we hit all of the key points that we needed to discuss. I'd just say hell to the W, and I just, it feels good to, kind of, have these constructive conversations about this team and not be so negative and so critical. Because I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but I sit here sometimes and I like, what can I really say bad about the team? Like, you know what I mean? Like, even in the loss today, like, really, what can I really say bad about the team? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, with all of the mistakes that we made, the pre-snap penalties and, pass interference and whatever that, keep drives alive and stuff like that, we're still playing a much better brand of football than we've been playing around here since I can remember. So that's just praise enough for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Anything else to add, John?
No, like Reed said, I think we kind of pretty much covered it. Run game, like I said, now is non-existent, but B-Rob is that engine in that rush offense right now, and Ravens came to play, obviously. Harbaugh, the Harbaugh brothers know how to run a defense. They ran it today to almost perfection. You had a DP on Noah Brown. You gave up the 4th and goal touchdown. We're still perfect on 4th downs, by the way. We're still 9 for 9 on those this season somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not complaining, not complaining at all. But I agree with Reedie. I don't want to say it's weird. I think that's the wrong terminology for me to use, but it doesn't feel natural to sit here after a loss and be like, all right, we got some things to work on, but other than that, we good. Like, I'm used to the past few seasons of like, I throw things at a wall, scream into this microphone as we kill our viewers' ears. Like, I'm so used to the negativity and saying we have so much to work on versus corners, run game. That's it.
Yeah, same here. Like I said when we started, you know what I mean, it definitely feel like we definitely need to figure out this secondary. You know what I mean, fix those issues, figure out that zone. And you know what I mean, we're gonna figure out a complement if B Rob is definitely gonna be down. Are you going to feature McNichols more in the behind behind B Rob, and allow Eckler to continue to do what he do, because they tried to lead with Eckler today and it wasn't working. And as you see, they got away from it and we just passed the ball more. So we'd definitely like to see something go there, or if they're going to pick up a guy or, you know, actually have Rodriguez in the mix. You know what I mean? We can kind of figure that out.
I actually thought we got away from the running game because, you know, when y'all go back and look at it, Eckler wasn't doing that bad. He was actually getting like 3-4 yards a carry. So, I mean, it wasn't the normal, like when Eckler gets in and it's like kind of like a pop. It wasn't that, but I don't think it was bad. I think we kind of got away from the run a little bit.
Yeah, and he probably missed that. He probably missed that change of pace. You know what I mean? That change of pace has been a killer all year, and killing defenses. And then, you know, for Jaden to even come behind and get his runs in too. So we kind of had a 3-headed monster with the quarterback and the 2 running backs. But, you know what I mean, now with eliminating B Rob, and you kind of kill it a little bit. You know, Eckler still did what he was doing, but you didn't have the other complement. Jaden wasn't able to do what he usually do either. So it just kind of killed the run game as a whole.
Yeah, I think they got away from the run. They definitely got away from the stretch. They kept running the inside zone, halfback dive. I'm like, is this Madden? Is this College Football 25? Just I can't change the audible. I think they had that one trick play where Jaden was going to throw that running back screen to the right side, and the edge, I think it was Odafe read that like a book and said, pass, nope, and went right to Eckler, and he said, oh man, so you lose 3 yards right there. So I think Eckler is more of that play action, that quick draw, you know, run that stretch and break loose, versus the bruiser, which is exactly what B-Rob, McNichols to a degree, Wiley to a degree all have. I think your Ecklers and your Rodriguez's are more quick step, not pass catching, or elusive running back is the word I was looking for, elusive, versus your downhill, your Derrick Henry types. We have a good complement, but when your first one's gone, you can't really make your second look like a 1 because he's not used to being a 1 in this style of offense.
Correct.
I think also maybe the game plan was to do like maybe the inside read, inside zone, because, you know, normally the read option, you know, if Eckler's in, obviously, like, you know what I mean, it's going to be read option, because I've noticed that teams are starting to shut Jaden down when he tries to get outside on that read option. So they're getting a little bit more stouter out there with that. So maybe Cliff was trying to give him a different look or something different that they didn't scout. You know what I mean? Because we kind of ran that to death. So maybe it might have been game planned. And then, you know, you got to think we haven't been chasing the game. So we didn't see this type of offense before because we've never really had to chase the game. And this week we're chasing the game. So maybe that could went into what some of the play calling was or whatever. And then obviously the down and distances, things like that.
Yeah, if that was the game plan, cool, but you kept running inside zone. You didn't really change up. Hey, let me, you know, hand this off and run to the like. Jaden had to go to the outside when he was scrambling, when the pressure was getting to him up the middle, edge off of Ottaway and Ngakoue. Because Tony, I think it was Romo even said it, when he scrambles to the left, he's gonna run. Well, he did that 3 times and got, I think, 7 yards total. And then what was the next run play? Hand off to Eckler up the middle. Hand off to Eckler up the middle. So, like, I can get behind inside zone, but that's that Ravens pass and run defense, one of the better ones in the league. Their pass defense is what was killing them coming into this game, and they still did a fairly decent job against the pass. That run defense they knew how to come up with, and I don't know if it's, like you said, the game plan. I don't know if it's, can't even say it's bright lights because we just played on prime time 3 weeks ago against an AFC North rival in the Bengals and came out looking good. So if it is the game plan, Cliff, I love you. What you're doing for this right now, 4-2 was not on my bingo card to start the year. I can go pull the tape. I said 8 wins max this season. We're halfway there. But I agree, it's got to change. But you can't spam halfback dive 5 drives in a row and been like, man, I wonder why I can't score points. You can't score yards.
Very, very Eric Bieniemy-ish, for sure.
I saw that on Twitter. I said, oh, Lord.
Yeah. But yeah, man. The Giants are down 3 with 3 minutes left on the Bengals. So they in it.
God bless the Bengals for this.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, if there's nothing else, guys, make sure that you guys tap in with my man John Dowd from Ballin and Burgundy podcast. We are Reedie and Z, as we always say. Like, share, subscribe, and we want to continue to thank you all for your support. Shout out to my man John rocking the Win, Lose, Draw hoodies. Y'all
get y'all one right now.
Y'all can tap in and grab a hoodie. We also got a vintage tee that we're gonna drop this week on pre-order. So be on the lookout for it. It's a Hell Tune Win, Lose, Draw. We got a little surprise. So make sure y'all tap in on that. And we want to just continue to shout out everybody that we collabing with. We appreciate the love, we appreciate the camaraderie, and we're gonna continue to do this thing. As we are strong. We are all strong together. So shout out to everybody. Today was a great day at M&T Bank. It was a lot of love in the atmosphere, and let's get ready for next week against these Panthers and regroup. But until then, over and out.